These are the plays that are going to make you the most money today. This is the Daily Profit brought to you by Linemaker Sports. In today's show, we're going to go through some of the highest probability plays in the MLB, and we're going to try to keep these free picks rolling. So let's jump into the whiteboard, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how this weekend went. All right, so let's start out on Saturday. All right, Saturday we had Jesus Sanchez to go under 1.5 hits. We ended up getting that one. Max Kepler to go under 1.5 hits. He actually ended up getting 2 there, so we ended up taking an L there. Kerry Carpenter to go under 1.5 hits. He hit that. Adamez to go under 1.5 hits. He got that. Mookie Betts to get a hit. He got 1 there. Teoscar Hernandez to get a hit. He did not get 1. Fernando Tatis to get a hit. He was able to get that there. Arraez to get 1 hit. Did not in that game. In the next game, if you guys watched, he got carted out on a stretcher after getting hit at first base. Then we had James Harden, over 32 plus PRA. He was able to crush that. And we had the Winnipeg Jets money line. They ended up coming through for us there. And then we had Jalen Brunson to go under 42.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He burned us in the last 30 seconds with some free throws, so we ended up taking an L on that one. Sunday, so we had Jesus Luzardo to go under 2.5 earned runs. We ended up hitting that one. Then we had Rafael Devers to get a hit. He did not. Then we had Luis Roberts, who had an 87% probability to go under 1.5 hits. He ended up hitting there. Then we had Taylor Ward, 82% probability to go under 1.5 hits. He ended up getting that as well. Altuve to get a hit that one. Freeman to get a hit, did not. He went 0 for 2 and had 2 walks. Soto to get a hit, we hit that one. And then the Thunder -8 on the alt spread. We didn't even need that. They ended up winning by like 50. So that one was a complete blowout for sure right there. So overall on the weekend we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We went 13 and 1, 2, 13 and 6. So not too bad there whatsoever. Now before we get into today's play, I do want to discuss something with you guys that is very important. I want to talk on the basis of emotions. So many sports bettors that I've worked with throughout the years, thousands of them, always come across this one problem with emotions. So they take it on a day-to-day basis, which will crush your emotions because one day you're winning, you feel good. The next day you lose, you feel terrible. Then you win again, you feel good. Then let's say 2 days in a row you end up losing. Then you feel like you want to quit. So this is what you need to understand when it comes to emotions and dictating your emotions. Similar to you going to the gym, for example. You go to the gym, after 3 or 4 days, you don't see any progress because you're not going to in 3 or 4 days of going to the gym. What do? Do you just quit and be like, oh, well, I don't see any progress, so what's the point of keep doing this? No, you're supposed to keep going, right? After a month, after 2 months, after 3 months, that's when you start to see some progression, and then that's what keeps you going. So as long as you have the right strategies in place that can produce long term, you have to take the emotion out. And it should take the emotion out of the game. Because then you can see your progress over the long term rather than the daily. Because the daily will crush your emotions, I'm telling you. It's fun to watch the games and it's fun to get emotional because, you have money on the game and you're watching it or whatnot. But for it to dictate your emotions on a day-to-day basis, it really is terrible. So you have to just pretty much rewire the way your emotions are controlled. So that way you understand that it's just like I said, going to the gym. After a couple of days, you're not going to see results. After a week, you're not going to see results. After a week and a half, not going to see results. That's the way it is when you go to the gym. You have to go for months and years before you see results that make you want to keep doing it and keep going. So it is the same exact thing. You have to just adapt that, take it, put it to sports betting. Now, if you don't go to the gym or anything like that, you don't need to go to the gym to understand what I just told you. It's just about seeing progress. When you see progress, that's what keeps you going. But it takes time to get progress. So once you see the progress and you're going, that's what keeps you rolling. Okay? As long as you have the right strategies in place, you are able to accomplish that. Now, if you don't have the right strategies in place, none of that is going to work. Right? So if you need the right strategies and you want me to show you exactly how to do that, make sure you guys click the link down in the description. Now let's go ahead and get into today's play. Now for today's play, let's go to the Astros. All right, we're going to go to the Astros. This marker's starting to be shit, so we're going to switch it up here. All right, the Astros, we are going to go with Altuve, who we have seen on here a couple times already that I've played. Go over 0.5 hits. What does that mean? 1 plus, okay? Means he's got to get 1 hit. If he can get 1 hit there. Now the probability on this is 75%. All right, we have a 75% probability for Altuve to be able to get 1 hit tonight. He's going against Gausman for the Blue Jays. He bats .333 against Gausman, which is pretty solid. And on the season, he's batting .302. So he's batting pretty well this year, and he has a favorable matchup here. And then in games against the Blue Jays, head-to-head, he is 6 for 6. All right? He's got a hit in every game that he's played against the Blue Jays. So we got a good probability here tonight. We got some good things to line up here for Altuve. But you know, when everything, it's weird with Altuve because when it seems like everything lines up for Altuve, he ends up crushing our hearts. But we do have everything that lines up for him. We have a solid average for him tonight against the pitcher. His overall average this year is pretty solid. And then against the Blue Jays, he's 6 for 6 in games against them for the last 6. So solid there. And then our probability is very solid as well. So everything is lined up for Altuve to be able to get a hit tonight. People always asking, where do you find these bets at? Because a lot of people can't find them. Some people will find, over 1.5 hits. Yeah, that's not what we're doing. Okay, that's not what you find. All right, most of the time you're gonna find this stuff on, let's say, FanDuel. We'll have them, BetMGM. I mean, that's just 2. I mean, the hit props are along a lot of them. Okay, the ones that people really have struggle finding is the under 1.5 hits. Now, if you want to know where to find those, one book that definitely has under 1.5 hits is ESPN Bet. All right, so if you're struggling to find those type of plays when you're in my program, that's where you find them. All right, so tonight's going to be Altuve to get 1 hit. If he can get 1 hit for us, he'll be able to get it done, and we're going to keep the streak rolling here on the free picks. Now, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Joshua Bennett. He donated some money, gave me a nice little tip on the last free pick video, so thank you. Definitely appreciate that. That always goes to a good cause for sure. Now, let's try to keep this rolling, guys, all right? We got lucky with Lindor on that last free pick. He ended up with a walk-off home run to get that hit for us, all right, in the 9th inning. So we're going to try to keep this rolling for y'all. Hopefully everybody appreciates the show. If you guys do, make sure you guys throw down in the comments if you guys are winning, which I know if you're part of my group, you are. Make sure you guys are commenting, showing some love down below so that way everybody knows what it's like to be on the winning team. And remember, if you have an edge, then every bet becomes a winning opportunity. As always, guys, I'm Frank with Linemaker Sports. I'll see you guys in the next show. Till then, I'm out.